Hi there. I'm doing a live stream right now, and I have a Nickelodeon mug here. I have a Nickelodeon shirt, but today's not really about Nickelodeon. Now, I don't think anybody's watching at the moment right now because this was a very, very random live stream. I don't announce when I'm doing live streams because I don't know when I'm doing live streams. It's just sort of like a when I want to do them in the moment sort of a thing. But I'm drinking coffee right now. Ooh, I don't normally drink coffee. But I wanted to because today I have a lot that I need to catch up on, a lot that I need to be productive um, for today, and including this live stream, just something that I've been wanting to do to sort of catch up a little bit. Um, if you are presumably watching this on the replay, so on this channel, I don't have like a committed schedule of particular uploads that I do. Mostly that's because I don't try to force videos. I like to do videos, but I don't want to commit to a particular upload schedule. I know that that would be pretty beneficial in um, the long run of like the YouTube algorithm or whatever. But generally, like right now, right? Like I have a lot of videos sort of on the backlog that I need to kind of edit and upload, and kind of get back on schedule with. So those are probably going to be daily uploads for the foreseeable future, just because I have a lot of videos to edit through. And sometimes I don't have a lot of videos to edit. I don't have a lot of ideas or reasons to go out into the park, and I don't want to force that sort of content. So it might be a little bit more sparse during those times. So that's why I don't have like a consistent upload schedule. But I wanted to do a live stream, sort of to satiate uh, just that pause in between me uploading videos, because I'm working on a pretty big project at the moment that is nearing completion. That's what I'm going to be doing after this live stream that I'm being very obscure about. Um, but it's going to take a minute to really start to get these videos out that I've already recorded, because I've done a lot of stuff recently that I'm very excited to share and upload and go through. But I want to make sure that I do it in the right way, right? So that is sort of the plan right now. That was me saying a lot without really saying much. So I'm sorry about that. Um, so we have some people in the YouTube live stream chat. Oh, I couldn't have said that more awkward. But hello everybody. Jabber with the super sticker. Jabber, you never have to do that. Thank you so much for doing that. You are so incredibly supportive. Um, and I've been talking to Jabber recently, and he's had some personal life stuff going on. So I hope that he's doing well. I hope that everybody's doing well, just in general, who's watching this right now, who watches my videos in general. Um, this entire past like 2 weeks, I have not really been in town. I haven't really been home, especially like the last week, which is why I kind of have like a scruffy situation going on here. I pre-recorded some videos before leaving town, and I scheduled those not very often, just like every few days, just to like kind of uh span out those videos over that time, just so that there wasn't like this massive chunk of time where I was just completely just stagnant and quiet on YouTube. Um so yes, so that's why it kind of went from just a couple random videos throughout the past like week or so to now just me doing a live stream with some facial hair, which I'm going to be getting rid of this, I think, right after this live stream, so I can do what I wanted to do today. um so yeah, that was the past couple weeks has just been like just for me a lot. It's been a bit of a blur in terms of just like doing things and going places that I'm being, again, very secretive about, because I kind of like that surprise factor in terms of like doing certain things on YouTube when it comes to either like staycations or vacations. I think it's sort of fun to just keep that as somewhat of a surprise. Um, but before that, just kind of preparing to go out of town, just between my normal full-time job and then trying to run around and make a few videos to then pre-edit and record, and well, to record and then edit and then schedule them to go out a certain like particular amount of time throughout the week that I was not here. Yeah, so that was fun. So now I'm caught up on that, but now I have an entire, just again, chunk of videos from a couple different things that I did recently that I am super excited to share, um, which I will be doing soon. But I wanted to do this live stream again because it's been a little bit since I've uploaded video, and I don't generally my personal rule of thumb, like on YouTube, is I don't upload every day. I don't upload every other day. I try to upload every 3 days or more. If it gets to about like 4 days, then it's about time that I'm like, I need to get something out. I need to do something. I need it for my own personal like mental stagnation and creative drive. I need to do something. I need to figure it out. I need to do some sort of a game or challenge or just do something exciting, even if it's a vlog around my house, even if it's just something in the parks of me just kind of going and enjoying, uh, something that I haven't done in a little while, or a particular offering that's going on in the parks. Um, yeah, but once it gets to about like 5 days where I haven't uploaded, that generally either means that I have like something in the works that I'm working on, or that I'm not in town, which this is kind of a little bit of both of those. Um, so hello to Beanie Shark. What do I think of the new Pokemon series and the new Scarlet and Violet trading cards? Pokemon Horizons. I haven't seen it. I think that is the new series, right? That replaced Ash Ketchum as a protagonist, and now it's like a dual protagonist situation, and one of them is named Roy. I think, right? Which is pretty cool. Um, so Scarlet and Violet. I have a little 3-pack blister right here, and I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I do not like Scarlet and Violet. I don't really care the direction that Pokemon is going with this. Mostly in a nostalgic vanity sense, I do not like the silver borders, which I don't know. The Pokemon cards have been have had yellow borders for for English for 20 years, over 20 years, and now they're adapting this silver border situation here. A lot of the cards in this set, I'm not a huge fan of, and they're transitioning away from the V Max, V Star era into like a new era. Well, they're kind of recessively going back to a different. It's basically I don't know. It's I got back into the nostalgia of Pokemon, and they're not necessarily doing that in my opinion. That they're moving in a different and a new direction, which is really cool. But Pokemon is a very very expensive hobby to be invested in, and I have not anticipated being in it for the long haul. I have all my stuff back over here, but this is again, these are all very, very particular nostalgic products that I've just been able to find, and especially in like the pandemic era, of just finding stuff in store, that was being otherwise completely monopolized by scalpers and stuff. It was a thrill to be able to find stuff. Now you can find it very easily, and um, yeah, so I don't know. I'm not incredibly crazy about this, or the new set that's been announced, or just, I don't know. Maybe I'll come around to it. I don't know. But to be fair, it is not a bad thing to be a little bit less interested in a trading card game because it gets incredibly expensive. However, okay, I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but here I am. Disney Lorcana. Does anybody know anything about Disney Lorcana? Maybe, maybe not. So there's going to be that is technically already launched, I think, but not in the United States print run for it. But Disney Lorcana is going to be a Disney trading card game that I think is going to be very popular. There's a lot of talk about how it's going to be comparative to Pokemon and how yeah, I've been following along with these people that have these like kind of conversations because my personal YouTube is very much of a blend of just like just fun Pokemon card stuff and then fun theme park stuff. So for there to be a blend of that together is very exciting. But to see like these two communities kind of coming together and either being like opposing or and anticipating and accepting of like a new trading card game. People think that like the Disney IPs are a lot more popular than the Pokemon IPs. I don't know. I know the Disney characters are very recognizable, but to say that, Donald Duck is more recognizable and popular than, um, Pikachu or Charmander, I don't know. We'll see, but I think it's going to be fun. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be cool. Disney Lorcana. We'll see how many people kind of jump on that train once that starts to get sort of popular. It's already very popular from what has been released, the print run that has been released. Cards selling for thousands of dollars, which I think is incredible. And we'll see if that happens here. We'll see how popular it is or how hard it is to get booster boxes, booster packs, all that fun stuff. Cody says, camera and mic quality on this live stream is very good. Very nice improvement. Thanks. So the reason for that, I mean, I'm still using the same camera setup that I use, and what I'm using that's different that I was going to talk about, which I already have talked about. I'm using this right here, this interface. This is the Mo2 M2 interface, so I'm able to use like these microphones as opposed to my previous USB microphones. Whoops, I dropped something. Which I can use two at the same time. And I've showed this before, I think in a video. Yeah, I got these new, what are these? These are Samson Q9U microphones, and I got a couple of them. They are very inexpensive for the quality that you get out of them. There's like a ton of different types of these microphones, but I want to make sure that I got, as I do with like most camera equipment, I try to research as much as possible to get the best quality for the most reasonable amount of price as possible, right? That's why I don't use, as of right now, full frame cameras. Really, I don't use like the very expensive podcasting live stream microphones because I know that I don't need them, right? I can still get, especially just like taking myself as seriously as I do with just like what I do with YouTube, just talking about theme parks and walking around, you know, Disney World and Universal. Like you don't need multi-$1,000 full frame cameras and lenses and audio equipment and lavalier microphones and all that, to put out a reasonable uh, showcasing of your experience that day. You know what I mean? Like it's nice. Like good camera equipment, good quality, good audio is really, really nice. And it is important. It's not important, but if you don't know how to use them, I think then that's like the big demerit with that. Like you can't just buy a $4,000 camera full frame body and then a $3,000 lens, and then an $800 microphone and then expect to have just good videos on YouTube. That's not how that works. You need to have a good, I don't know, other aspects that add to that quality versus just having like good camera equipment. So that's why I wanted to get these, because these are not like the Shure microphones that are like very popular, that are like very expensive. These are like, like 3/4 or half the price of that. And it gives like a really good performance in addition to this, this interface that I got to. The interface was probably like more of a splurge just to kind of go along with these microphones. But yeah, I'm very excited. I wanted to upgrade microphones. I wanted to have like a little bit better of like a sound consistency with this. If I want to do this around like once a month or so, which is like the idea. If I see that I haven't done a live stream in about a month, then that's where I'd like want to hop on and do a live stream. So what needs to be improved, I think, is like the camera quality here, because I need to get like another software basically that enables me to do like a little bit better of like an actual quality live stream, because this could be a lot more crisp. And even like I think on the replay there's like a little bit of a delay with the video and the audio. Like I want to work on that. That's something I'm gonna work on. I'm probably gonna need to get like a subscription to something for that, but we'll see. Today was mostly about testing out the audio, here, and I have the interface. It's like right here, right in front of me, and I can play around with the gain of it. I can actually see my levels here, so I can see how loud I am and if I'm peaking or not. I can adjust the gain and stuff. These have like mute buttons on them too. This one's muted over here right now, so if I was here with Brennan and one of us needed to, I don't know, burp or sneeze or something, you can mute a microphone. So that's exciting. This is fun. It seems to be working so far. I did a few, like, as I do with like most live streams, whenever I'm about to start, I do like a few like test live streams just so I make sure that, the video is coming from the right place, not from my, computer, and then the audio sounds okay. It's not too quiet or too loud. Yeah. So thank you to everybody who's just popping into the live stream. This was just sort of like a casual live stream to sort of just catch up. If you're watching now, or if you're watching on the replay, you already know this, but I've been out of town for a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to get back into YouTube, because I've had videos that I've been uploading, but they've been scheduled videos, so I haven't actually like really edited or done YouTube in a couple weeks now. I've been filming a lot of videos. I have a couple big um, trips that I went on. One with Brennan, and then one with my brother Dennis. And those are trips that I'm very excited to share. But before I edit those and put those out, there are some things that I'm trying to work on. To kind of not like relaunch my YouTube channel, but to just give myself a new vibe and a new look that I'm very excited and anticipating to be pretty fun. Um, this is my new camera right here. I tested this out in like a home like video recently, and if you didn't see that, so this is the new camera that I'm trying to work with right now. This is the Sony ZV-E10, and I have always preferred Canon personally. Everybody seems to have been jumping ship over to Canon, but I've tried to just stay, uh, you know, I don't know. I've tried to stay with Canon and be as consistent as possible with like a lot of the Canon cameras that I've always used. Um, but what I really wanted out of a camera mostly was a wide angle with a very low f-stop, so I could get very good low light, and then I could get as much in frame as possible. Yeah, there seems to be like a Venn diagram that I've noticed that you can't. It's just impossible unless you just spend an incredible amount of money. You can't get like a low light, wide angle, incredible zoom lens. Just like those three factors seem to not really be that compatible. You can get maybe two of those, but not all three. And especially with like a mirrorless camera setup that I've had. But this one right here, this is a f1.8 11mm lens, which is very, very cool. It is incredibly light compared to the Canon that I use right now, which is my M50 with my Sigma 1.4 lens, which is just, it is huge. It is massive. It is heavy. I had to buy a stick to put it on just so I could hold it out away from me, because I couldn't just hold it like this, for an incredible amount of time. But this right here, this is so light. Like the body is incredible. Um, and the last video that I did, uh, which again I scheduled to go out while I was out of town. Um, I didn't really get a chance to check all the comments on a lot of that, but that was like a test of this camera. And from when I recently, like I think, kind of glanced at them, um, when I like at least got like was whenever I looked at the comments, because I have looked at the comments, I haven't read them all, but just I got like a general idea of people's opinion, which is that it was a little bit the stabilization was like a little bit shaky, right? And then the audio was not the best, which both of those I agree with. The audio is on top of this camera, which is interesting because on the Canon, the mic is on the front of the camera, so you'd anticipate that audio to be worse than this one being on top. So that's something that I need to try to figure out is the audio situation, because I have never liked putting a microphone on a camera. I hate the look of it. It doubles the size of the camera. It makes you so much more of a spectacle to look at, and that I don't like. I don't like drawing attention to myself as somebody who records theme parks and myself walking around and rides, and I like to blend in. I like to be as completely subtle as possible when I do this. So adding a microphone on top of this is like, I don't want to do it. I don't, because then I'm another one of those vloggers walking around the theme parks that thinks he's too good, you know, for what he's doing. I don't know. And I've tried to like research like microphones and stuff that are just as compact and small as possible, because again, I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to give in though, because I do want to. Sound is important, like a shaky camera is one thing, but just like, so you do need to be able to hear what you're saying, because otherwise, what's the point? Um, so I'll figure that out. But as far as the stabilization, what's really cool about Sony that I've noticed is that I've like done this research on, and I've like downloaded this, and it seems to work really well. I need to figure this part out of it a little bit more, and this might be a bit of a delay process and just getting used to it. And this, I won't talk about camera stuff forever. That was not the entire point of this video by any means, but um, there's something called Catalyst Browse or Catalyst Prepare that essentially, when you record on a Sony, if you disable the certain stabilization that's like in body, it records the gyroscopic data. I'm pretty sure that well, I'm pretty sure that this is how it works, that you can then import into this program called Catalyst Browse, or Catalyst Prepare is like the paid version of it, and it can use that data that it records in body to then stabilize your video in like post recording in the editing process. And it's not this like Premiere warp stabilization, that makes it just look really, really weird and warpy. Like it actually really looks like gimbal smooth video. And that's really neat. Like I've played around with the software and it looks so good. Like you can see the before where it's kind of like jittery and shaky, a little bit. And then you see the after and it is just smooth panning. The only demerit personally is that it can, like, I think, impact the quality a little bit, but then it it also crops it slightly, So that's my pride where I'm just like, oh, I wanted a live, or I wanted a wide angle camera to use for videos, and now it's gonna crop it in a little bit, but it's still a wide angle. It still is probably like the widest angle that I've ever used. So just to sacrifice that slight, like not even completely, but just that slight uh crop a little bit, that wide angle to get it like gimbal like smoothness in a video is really neat, and I'm excited to like experiment with that a little bit more. But the only thing, not really the only thing, but another thing is that you have to do that to like every clip, so that could take a long time. So I think that would be something that I would need to kind of analyze and export overnight. I don't know. That was my camera talk for the most part. Is that I'm still using this camera and I'm figuring it out. I like the color of a Canon more so than a Sony. I think Brennan preferred the Sony over the Canon. That it's a little bit more true colors, versus maybe a little bit more saturated. You can always color correct, but I don't like to do that. Um, so yeah. Um, Chelsea said that her husband is a professional videographer, and he always says that when people ask how he gets his quality, that his best tools are the ones you have and know how to use. Yes, yeah, yeah. So that kind of goes back to, you could have a really good camera, but you got to know how to use it. You got to really put in the research to know how to use it to really make it worth it. You can't just, turn it on and then just let the white balance and the color, and then just everything about a very expensive camera. It's you need to know how to use it. Sony is a far superior product for ease of use and cost benefit. Of the casual Canon prices out the casual user or learner. That's true. The G7X Mark II, just like the PowerShot, just handheld camera. I mean, that one is, I used that one on the trip that I did because that's sort of my travel camera, because it's just so easy to put in a pocket. That one still just does incredible. It's pretty wide angle. It zooms. The stabilization is great because it's an in body. What is it? Optical stabilization, just so that it's great. But I've wanted this like step up from that. I've wanted this kind of a camera for a while, and I used it for several years with this Canon. Really, the Sigma lens was like the massive benefit to that Canon, but it's just so heavy. I think I missed some super stickers from Cody. Thank you, Cody. And then the Moody Pages. Thank you, everybody, for the super stickers. You don't have to do super stickers. They are very much so like appreciated, obviously, but I just wanted to pop in and talk and just say hi and talk about cameras and silly stuff. But again, thank you so much. Let me see. I'm probably gonna miss a lot of people. Just a lot of people just saying hi, or just that they're popping in, talking about the camera quality. I appreciate that. Roy, which would you recommend your friends take their 8-year-old, Universal or Disney World? Disney World, probably. Much more family friendly there. Universal is leaning more towards the thrill factor there. You can do a lot of those rides there, but Disney World definitely has just more more family friendly oriented rides. But Universal, I mean, especially with what they're probably going to be doing to Kid Zone, and then Epic Universe, like they're definitely, they're going to be leaning in on the family friendly factor too, I think. Hey, Roy, I am so in need of another Roy and Dennis vlog, maybe another trip to Atlanta in the near future. Well, it is funny that you should say that because Dennis and I just went on a massive adventure together, and it's going to be very cool. Something that I have never done before with Dennis and his best friend from high school. We went on an incredible adventure, and I am very excited to share that. That was a crazy experience getting to do that. Dennis has been wanting me to go along with him to do something fun for a while, and I finally said yes, and I did it. That's why I have this like beard going on right now. Um, let's see what else. In past videos, you've mentioned wanting to have a future Tennessee trip. If you ever come to Nashville, I'd be thrilled to personalize a scavenger hunt for you. Thank you so much. We do really, really want to go to Nashville. That's something we have been talking about so seriously. We are so in between Disneyland and uh, like Gatlinburg, Nashville, Tennessee, just going to Tennessee in general. Um, we might be leaning more towards Nashville. We want to go back to Disneyland, but then after I don't know, I'm sure you do know, and this happened while I was on my trip with Dennis, but the Phantasmic Dragon, that incident, so for their Phantasmic being out of commission is a bit of a bummer. I don't know what they're going to be doing with that, if they're going to be running a sort of a B mode show. That's not going to be like the big demerit to not get to go to their Disneyland, but we have been just really wanted to go to Nashville like forever, like and we've been going, but not together. So to go together, I think it's a must. But we haven't been to California in a long time. Um, let's see. Do you remember back in the early 2000s when most electronics went white to look futuristic? Those were the days. I do. Everything should have been chrome, like right, just chrome phones. I mean, computers are kind of they have this space gray aesthetic, so they're kind of futuristic in that way. You said you don't want to be the typical vlogger with some stuff, but isn't it just you trying to upgrade content? It shouldn't matter what others think if you're upgrading your content. Yes, I so I want to upgrade content, right? Like that's the general idea is to try to just be a little bit better. For me, it's more about just trying to break out of a rut, and that sense, like once you use the same camera for years, you get excited about trying to figure out is there a different camera that does something a little bit different, and that's what I did with this Canon M50, and then I've used this one for like 2 to 3 years now, so that's why it felt about time to okay, I need to start looking for something else. It's been a couple of years. There's got to be some sort of a new model or a new lens combination on the market that would really benefit what I really want, and so um it's odd, because it's like you could be upgrading your content, but not necessarily because a lot of the videos that I've done that are my most favorite videos I just did on my Canon G7X because it was just a simple idea. It was a fun challenge. It was good quality for that camera. And if anything, that made that content even better because I felt a little bit more comfortable with it and it felt more casual. So it's like I want to upgrade that content, but I need to keep that casual relationship with what I do on YouTube, because I don't want to take myself that seriously. I want to be able to just to pull out my camera and just talk and walk and show what I'm doing and whatever fun little challenge. But if I have a big camera that does so much of a better job quality wise that is like that itself is the upgrade, but then I lose that confidence, then it's like a demerit to the content, I think, right? I loved your Spectrum Magic video. It took me right back to my childhood. Yeah, that was a fun video. That was really neat to just that my dad recorded all that stuff was like wild, and they got so excited when they found that because my mom's been working on this project at home where she's been going through a ton of pictures and videos, and that she found that she just was so excited to share it with me, and then I knew that I needed to do something with it, and just because the 50th was ending, it felt like the perfect time to like do that comparative 25th, 50th. If I had that video like at the beginning of the 50th, I may have been able to do something a little bit more creative with it in terms of recreating certain parts of that video or that kind of stuff. But just to be able to do something with it at all. Um, I said 100 times, let your life dictate the content and not let the content dictate. Yeah, see, I think they're one and the same. You know, that's like that's one concept where like I think it's subjective. Um, because that's always going to be my opinion with like how I do YouTube. I do YouTube because it's something that I want to do, but then at the same time, I do force myself to try to think outside the box and try to let myself, mentally go to a place where I'm like, what could I do today? What sort of fun thing could I do? What game could I play? What challenge could I do? In that way, the content is dictating my life, but I'm okay with it, right? Because I want to do that. And and then there are exceptions to that, obviously, where if I really don't care about, Star Wars at all, and then I force myself and I whine about it and I complain and I have to say, oh, I hate Star Wars, but I have to get views and clicks, so I'm going to be going to the opening day of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, even though I hate Star Wars. But that's the only thing that's going to give me views. Like, of course, that's letting the content dictate your life, and it's sad because you don't want to do it, But if I if I go to Magic Kingdom and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing today, we'll see what I stumble upon or what sort of idea that I have. That's the point. And that's fun because I'm giving myself the opportunity to figure out what I want to do with my day, I think. Right? I don't know. I just do it. I just take up my camera and I record. That's why I don't do the daily videos. That's why I don't do the every other daily videos. Just like every video that I do is a video that I want to watch back. If there's a video that I don't want to watch back, or I'm embarrassed by it because I didn't even want to do it in the first place, then it's a problem, right? And there have been times, a couple times, I have gone to a theme park and I didn't know what I wanted to do and I wasn't even in the mood for it. I just like drove by while I was on my way home from work, or I was like, I need to record something today. I need to go figure it out. I'll just go to Magic Kingdom and then I'll see what there is to do. And then I get there and then I'm like, no, I don't know about this. I'm not really feeling it. So I'm like, okay. And then I go home. And then it's okay because otherwise it would have been reflected in the video where I'm just like, oh, I'm just here to I don't know what to do. I guess I'll go what does the Tron construction look like? Yeah, just it's obvious, right? So that's the idea. Um I am going to shift now, as I should have done half an hour ago. This was just me talking for half an hour, just sort of catching up, right? Talking about camera stuff, talking about trips that I've done recently. Um, I want to show off some mail that I got, right? I just went to the mailbox today, actually, and I hope the Jabber is still here because I got this from Jabber. It says, wishing you a happy, chocolatey sort of day. Because you're someone wonderful. Happy Easter. Love you both from Jabber. And that's an adorable card, Winnie the Pooh card. So this is an Easter card, obviously, and I have not been in town pretty much for the majority of April. So thank you so much for sending that. And it's funny that you sent that because where'd it go? There it is. I wanted to do something with Easter, and I always do this every year where I get this like ambition to do something, but then if it just doesn't work out, if like the timing doesn't work out with my or Brennan's schedules and stuff, um, I don't really do it. But I always like prepare just in case. So like I bought a couple of these like big golden eggs. I didn't know what I wanted to do with them, but I bought them. They were $1 or two. But I yeah, just that's always a bummer because that happens too, where I have this like kind of an anticipated optimism of ambition to make some sort of like a video or a challenge or something like that, and I just get prepared for it just in case, even though if it's not like completely like planned out. I'm always like ready to go. So I bought a bunch of these like golden eggs, and I didn't do anything with them, but that's okay. You don't always have to do everything with everything. But what I did do that I do regret, I bought all these Peeps, and then I didn't do anything with these Peeps. I didn't have any idea what I was going to be doing with the Peeps, but I got the Peeps, and now I still have the Peeps, and it's way too many Peeps. And now we're almost in May, so I was like, oh, do I play like Chubby Bunny but with Peeps? Like, no. But what am I supposed to do with Peeps? I have way too many Peeps. So yeah, there's my They're my peeps and my golden egg that I didn't use for Easter. A lot of the time I try to do like an Easter somewhat inspired video where like I'll hide eggs around the house and then we'll do like a one take, you know, video of just like searching for eggs around the house. But didn't get a chance to do that just because of like schedules and stuff this year. But I'll like the Peeps, I guess, at some point. Maybe. I do like Peeps. A lot of people don't like Peeps. I like Peeps. Okay, awkward pause. So in the thumbnail, which by the way, I don't know if you notice with the thumbnails, I like intentionally make just the worst faces, because I think it's the people that feel the need to do those thumbnails, where it's just like I hate it. It's funny, but it's like it's so terrible, Like I know that my personal thumbnail game should be a little bit or could be a little bit better, But like if every thumbnail has to have some sort of just like then, that's I'm not gonna trick you to watch a video. That's just it's not fair to you. If the video is not exciting or interesting or it's not something that you want to invest in, then you don't have to watch it. Nobody has to watch a video. I don't have to trick somebody to watch a video. People that do that, oh, I have a big announcement in this video and I'm going to be announcing at the end of this video. Make sure you keep watching all the way to the end. It's like, yes, that's how the algorithm works. The idea is to make people watch videos and to watch the entire video. But isn't it so much more rewarding if people want to watch the whole thing because they do versus having to lie or trick anyone? It's so I don't know, and yeah, like me just having a picture of the castle as my thumbnail is absolutely not exciting at all. I know, but I don't know, a little variety. Maybe that's I try to do that too. There's like a juggling that like maybe this thumbnail has me in it. Maybe this one is just a edited, somewhat edited, a Lightroom like picture that I took of something that's in the video, or this video has Brennan in it. This thumbnail has Brennan in it. It's a give and take. I'm holding this because I was going to transition to what I have in the thumbnail with my stupid reaction. Which again is like sort of it's like a self-awareness of just, ow. Power Rangers. Wow, that was great. So this was something else that was in the mail. That was actually like a huge surprise. And I could kind of tell what it was by taking it from the person when they gave it to me. But in here we have some Legos. I think it's really technically Lego, but I don't really care. I think it's a little bit pretentious. Like to have to give the correct pluralization. So this was a box from Marco Lopez. I want to make sure that I got your last name right. I don't know if he's here right now. I hope you're watching in the replay or just in general, because I wanted to thank you for these. So let's see if I can get them all displayed, more or less. Hey, Roy. So a day or two after your live where you built the Megazord, I went to my local Five Below and I found these. I'm not sure if you have these or not, but I wanted to send these to you. I've been watching your videos for the past year and I really enjoy watching them and seeing the kind of person you are. Thank you for being you. And thank you for always giving me something to look forward to with your videos. I guess you could already have these, but I wanted to give these to you as a thank you. Thank you to you and Brennan for sharing your lives with us, and I can't wait for everything else you have in store. From Marco. Thank you very much, Marco. I don't know why I didn't see these at Five Below, because I go to Five Below all the time. I haven't been somewhat recently. Back there somewhere, he's like standing up. Hold on, can I do it? Yes, that is my Megazord right there, which I did in my last live stream, which was like 2.5, 3 hours long. Not going to be doing that long of a live stream, especially alone. But yeah, I finished him. I put all the like stickers and stuff on that Megazord, so he looks good and ready to go. He's a little bit brittle, like one of his arms or something keeps falling off. So if I go touch him, then he's gonna collapse. And then that's like my little like Lego shelf. That's where I have all like the like Pokemon Lego that I did a while ago too. So if one thing falls over, they all fall over, and then it's terrible. And then it takes me like half an hour to get it all fixed. But that's where that is. And so this sort of goes along with that Megazord, which is cool. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do all of these because it'll take a while. So I'm just going to do one of them and just sort of save the rest for just me to do casually, right? Which presumably that was the point, just for me to, I don't have to record myself doing everything or, monetizing it for the sake of the internet. So I just want to do one of them. And I think I'm going to do this one. We have, so this is Tommy, Zach, Jason, and Billy. There's also a movie that came out that I have not seen yet. Power Rangers Once and Always, which I'm excited to see. I've heard it's very nostalgic, so that'll be neat to see that. I'm gonna go and do Tommy here, the green / white ranger. Oh geez. So this is another Lego live stream. I hope I didn't have any ASMR. That would be annoying. So if anybody has any just questions or casual thoughts or anything to talk about, if there's anything that I haven't talked about that's recent news, there's definitely some big recent news that I need to be careful about talking about. So I don't think that I will, which is the recent lawsuit filed by the Walt Disney World Parks and Resorts team. So that one is probably just being a cast member of the Walt Disney Company. It's not prudent for me to probably talk about that in a public forum, but we will see what the outcome of that is, and that is going to be very interesting to sort of follow along just with that the future development and governmental presence, in Walt Disney World. I think, yeah. But anything other than that probably is pretty safe to want to discuss. Obviously, I have my opinions, but it's going to be more prudent to keep those personal. Okay, so this should be a pretty quick build. I'm not anticipating this taking a long time. I really hope this is only 50 pieces. And thank you again to Marco, just for sending those. That was really incredibly nice, and I'm excited to do the rest of those, probably with Brennan at some point, and I can add them to my shelf back there. That's one part about Lego that it's intimidating because Lego is fun, but if you have too much of it and you don't know what to do with it, then that could be problematic. Because you want to display it all, and I clearly have a lot of a display space issue currently. All right, so hopefully I can do this pretty quickly, and then wrap this live stream up. Just wanted to, touch base again and sort of catch up people with just what I've been up to, and maybe like a bit of a tease as to what to look forward to, which is again going to be I'll say that it's a staycation with Brennan, and then it is a trip with Dennis. That were both very exciting, that I'm going to be working on very soon, that you definitely have to look forward to. And once I start editing those and start publishing those videos, it should just be nonstop videos for I think I have 12 videos just recorded that I need to edit and publish. So if it's put a little stagnant on this channel for a minute, it's because I've been working on another project, which you'll also see when these other videos start to come out, and then also just preparing and going on these other trips after having to, get the necessary vacation or PTO set up in order to do this. And and I just got back, and I've been at work, the past couple days and stuff. So I'm back in the groove now, and I'm trying to recover a little bit from just doing what I just did, for the past couple weeks. Yeah, but I'm excited to share those, and then I'm excited to really get back into YouTube. Right, it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, so while I'm doing this, if you want to just, I don't know, ask a couple questions if you have any, just anything that's just, or just stuff that you're interested about. Did I get Hogwarts Legacy? No, I did not. I I I can't say that I want to because I know that I won't really, like, at least in the foreseeable future, because I'm not a video game person. I wish that I was, but I'm not. So to presume that I'm going to be doing anything with a like uh sorry. Yeah, so to presume that I'm going to be doing anything involving video games is just presumptuous. But I've watched other people play it and it does look fun. Okay. Let me see. See, this is going to be a little bit less exciting than, not that the last time that I made Lego for an hour, 2.5 hours was interesting, but you can't really even see because I'm not using my like wide angle lens that I used last time. This is the Sigma lens, which is a little bit better than that one. I'm not really a video game person, but if you really like Harry Potter, it will draw you in. I know, and it's not that it's not that I don't want to. I've got a lot that I'm like working on and stuff, and I get distracted easily. I don't what it's so I don't I don't want to like put anybody on blast with this, but like when I like say that I don't have like a lot of free time, I think everybody says that, and then it's always just like I roll, it's like, but I like really don't give myself a lot of free time if I'm not doing something or I'm not actively at work. Even when I'm at work sometimes and I have a little like downtime at work where my time is my own, if that makes sense, then I'll be working on videos, or I'll be, just working on other like little projects or designs or Photoshop or After Effects projects and everything. So like I just wish I had a little bit more time to do stuff. Like I haven't seen anything on Disney Plus or on any streaming service. I don't watch anything at all. It's actually like kind of a bummer. Like I wish that yeah, I feel behind, because everybody else is always talking about these shows that they're watching or games that they're playing, that they're coming out with, Scarlet and Violet or Hogwarts Legacy, and I don't do any of that, and I feel like such a uh, kind of a loser. Um, Let me see. Not a loser. That's not necessarily what I mean, but maybe you know what I mean. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I've heard good stuff about that too. Sorry, I'm trying to find these like tiny little like wheel pieces. I guess those aren't really that tiny. All my money is tied up in my trip to Universal Studios Hollywood Super Nintendo World. That is exciting. That is a place that I really, really want to get out to. Like almost more than Disneyland again, almost, is to actually see Super Nintendo World. I felt so left out of Universal Studios Hollywood. Everybody else is going out there for everything that they've been opening up, recently, and I haven't. We haven't been in years, and so we are just very behind on doing that and going there and checking that out. And I haven't watched anybody else's videos. I'm sure that people have made some awesome content from there, but I've been just really wanting to be surprised. So I haven't watched anything about Super Nintendo World or anything. Okay. Try not to break this. That would be ideal, right? As I almost break it. It's a bummer to like limit myself and talking about, like the recent political discussions and happenings of, Walt Disney World and Central Florida, because that is very much so the news to talk about right now. I think it's just more pertinent that it's like my opinion doesn't really do anything, Really what it comes down to is just like the litigation of just like the legality of the situation of um like just when it comes to the Florida government versus Walt Disney World and what rights are and aren't protected and violated. So doesn't really do much for me to talk about it or give my opinion about it. It's going to be more for the court of law to have that conversation and interpretation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It is interesting just that the I guess just this climate has never happened before, in my knowledge, just where it's just been so tense, in every aspect of the word and stuff. Like it's just ever since like ever since the pandemic, really, like really that just like the recovery from that has just been so challenging, and had so many different obstacles, like just politically and just as a business. Um, so we'll see what happens again. God, I feel so boring when I just like try to concentrate on this stuff. It's one part about these microphones is that they're kind of in the way, So I hope that this like aids the experience a little bit. It'll be nice to have Brennan doing this again. Brennan's at work right now, and this is my day off. We should be having a shared days off, hopefully at some point soon. So that'll be kind of nice. That'll be very nice. See, why can't I do Lego? Why do I struggle so much? Okay, I need this and I need this. What's sort of funny is that I think that this is like so boring, and then like Brennan will have like rewatched the live stream and she'll be like, it was actually kind of like relaxing, and I'm like, seriously, just quietly like me, just is that aesthetic? Okay, so this looks like it goes here, I think, and then this goes right here. Now we're going. Now we're going. Whatever. And now we flip it over. Okay, that shouldn't have been that hard. What just happened? Something fell off. I'm sorry. Was it here? I think it was here. Okay. Hey Roy, love your channel. Also love your shirt. I agree that Nickelodeon in the 90s and early 2000s was the best. It absolutely was. Could try to name everybody here. So we have Reptar, Arnold, Rocco, Ren, Tommy, Norbert, Dag, Chucky, Angelica, and Otto. Always such a random selection. I think Reptar is, interestingly enough, like the nostalgic like champion of the 90s. Just if there's a Nickelodeon shirt, they're going to put Reptar on that shirt. I also like recently listened to the Angry Beavers theme song. If you have not listened to the Angry Beavers theme song in a while, I recommend you do it. It is so nostalgic, and it is like, honestly, it's beautiful. Like I think that's one aspect of the like just like the sound design of like the cartoons in the 90s. It's awesome. They like the attention and the care done to like the sound, just even within the episode, but also like the theme songs. Hey Arnold, Angry Beavers. They're iconic and they're awesome. It was done as a way to probably like, like a minute long theme song shaves off a little bit more animation than you have to do in order to produce a 21-minute or so long episode. I get that, but the music was still great. See, this happens a lot, unfortunately. Like all the just stuff wants to fall off more. Stuff falls off of that Zord so easily. Tailspin is another one. DuckTales. Oh god. I dropped it. Sucks we can't just talk about it like people, but I completely understand. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's like off the table. It just like it seems like it's the just for my own self preservation of employment because I work for Disney. It seems like it's a safe idea to not uh personally discuss on my YouTube channel. It's like my allegiance is with Disney, working for Disney, but I also don't want to just feel the need to like start that conversation and have this be like a place of that um of politics, of debate, even though that's healthy, even though it is welcomed and appreciated, for that to be a conversation. Obviously, they're places that I think it's just going to be more appropriate. There are YouTube channels that, um, you know, like specifically, so the Diz Unplugged, I think is a great example of that. Like they posted a video that was just completely talking about the lawsuit in particular, and it was very, I think pretty like it was unbiased. It was just a dissection of just like the what this lawsuit was bringing forth, you know, and um, and then just like I think in a video like that specifically uh begs for that kind of a conversation. I think that's like a great place to have that conversation and just to kind of read what people's thoughts are in those comments and just what opinions that they bring forth about the subject. I think that's like a better place for it, um rather than just me fiddling with Legos and just talking out of my butt, you know um but it's yeah, it's it's an incredibly preferred to have like a conversation about this sort of stuff, especially just living in Central Florida, working for Disney World, and just wanting this to be um, a place that is comfortable and safe to work at, but then also like a supported business environment, by the government. It's just like I don't understand why we can't just have that cohesive relationship, and that it has come to this point, but maybe this needs to happen in order to get there. We'll see. Um, a Pokemon question. See, bouncing around to the real topics. I haven't made any progress on this at all. Pokemon question for you, Roy. Do you collect just certain sets of Pokemon cards, or do you gather the cards in general? Well, um, generally, so each set of Pokemon cards that comes out, they come out every like 3 or 4 months. Generally, they're generally going to be those like chase cards within that set, And if it's a set that just has like a lot of really nostalgic full art or alternate art cards, or they have like a subset within that set, and if it just really seems like worth it and exciting to just pursue that particular set in general until I maybe find that one card or just like one of the cards that I'm looking for, and then I can kind of like relax a little bit and be like, okay, I had my fun, I got one of the cards that I wanted. That's sort of the fun with it, but if you start to really open up a lot of packs, or you're just seeing that the the hit rates, so to speak, the The consistency of the pulls that you get out of these packs is very bad, and the likelihood of you getting something very good is minimal. Then that's like a reconsideration of just like, that particular set. If there's like one set where there's just one singular card that I want, then I don't think I'm gonna go all in on that particular set. Really, what I have a lot of fun with again is just like collecting the boxes, the tins, because they make those like a lot of fun. The sealed product sort of mystery there, where like you never know what you could have. You could have just nothing in these boxes, or every single one of these boxes could have the best card in the set. And then like the design of some of these, like these three here, like the Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon boxes. Beautiful boxes, beautiful promo cards in the inside. So those are cool to keep those sealed. But then you can have like stuff that's like, I gotta have too much sealed stuff, so I gotta open up some of it, and maybe I get something in it that's cool. Maybe I don't. If I don't, then I put it in a box in there, and then I donate that to Give Kids the World. And I've been doing that a couple times recently, where I buy these like, I buy things to like put these cards in, and then I donate to them as like these like fun mystery packs or something. So that's kind of cool to pay it forward in that sense. So yeah, either I get stuff that I want, or I get stuff that I like don't want but still pretty cool, or I get duplicate stuff that I already have, and then I'm able to like do something with that versus just like have a huge box in here of just nothing, or just waste it all, because I hate how wasteful Pokemon is. It is so wasteful. If you watch like Pokemon YouTubers online, just imagine every single day just opening up just boxes and boxes and boxes of product, of tins, of collection boxes, of booster bundles and packs, and box LE trainer boxes, and just thousands of like cards of pack wrappers of uh, aluminum or cardboard, and just every single day. It is so wasteful. And not that I'm like aiding in that, but at least I don't do it every single day. At least. At least not right now, right? No. Okay. I've been just holding this in my hand for a significant amount of time. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit here. Okay. So this is going here. There we go. We're moving. This one piece does not want to stay on, and I don't like it. My April Fool's video this year was hilarious. How long did I have that idea for a video? I've had it for a while. I like, so I've had this idea, and I generally have this like thing in my head where I like to, I call it self-awareness, but I like to just poke fun, at what I do and what other people like me do. Um, it could it I have to be aware that it doesn't cross a line. Like I don't want to like make fun of somebody and how they vlog, or how they do YouTube, or how they, you know, solicit for likes and comments and Patreon and membership subscriptions, you know. But there are particular people on this platform that do that, in a way that it, to me, is a little bit cringy. It's very self-serving. It's very kind of obviously just not. Um, I, I don't know. It's unfortunate. I guess, just to say the least. Just the people that do this YouTube thing that just feel that need to kind of consistently solicit money from people on the internet to continue supporting them and what they do, which a general amount of the time is very easy. At least the type of stuff that I watch on YouTube, where it's just like people opening up Pokemon cards, or people walking around theme parks and riding rides. Like what financial like assistance should you need with that, right? Like that should be something that's just very fun, that you'd want to do regardless, that you don't need the benefit of somebody financially compensating you for that. So it's that like self-awareness that I've just always thought was like ironic, and it's just something that I like I want to kind of poke fun at. I don't want to like really put anybody on the spot, but just that like I don't know, attitude of you know oh, make sure you go visit my Patreon, and or you support me by going to this website and buying this, and make sure you go visit. some people have like 3 to 5 links in the video of a description the description of a video to just give them money, and it's like, what are you what are you doing? You're just walking around Universal or Disney World, you're just walking around and videoing what you see, and it's like I'm not trying to demerit that because it's the idea is that you need to get that financial compensation to be able to do this instead of a regular job. So if you couldn't do YouTube, you would have to support yourself financially by other means, meaning a regular job. So really just that financial compensation is just keeping you from having to not do this by doing something else. But at the same time, it's a, you know, I still think you should just want to do what you do regardless, like of that compensation, because that's how a lot of people start out. A lot of people have a regular job. Most everyone has a regular job, and then they get where they are by just, nose to the grindstone uh, by recording and editing videos on the side, and it's like they can do that from the beginning, with that uh, just motivation. Um, so yeah, it should always continue that way. You should always do what you do because you want to do it, you know. And there's always that like perception that like, oh, once a hobby becomes once you start what is it like once you start making a hobby like work, then it isn't fun anymore, And it's just like maybe, but not necessarily. That's on you to make it different for yourself. If you let yourself burn out, or if you let it become more of a work mental concept, then it will be a work mental concept. But like, make it fun. God, that was a tangent. I don't know what that was. That just see, this is what happens when I'm like not in front of a camera or like a microphone for a minute. I just get uncomfortable and I just talk. But that was the point of the April Fool's Day video, is that I've been wanting to do something like that where I just poke fun at vloggers, basically. I've had ideas that are a little bit that are much more so blunt than that I've talked been talked down from, uh to not commit to, because it would just put a lot on the table that would be, it would seem like it would call people out personally, and I want to think that it could be like just fun, tongue in cheek, self-awareness, just but I don't want to ruffle any feathers in that way. Not yet, at least. This coffee is making me hiccup. How is the car search going? So now that I'm like back from these trips, these were like big trips that I've been planning for like a little while now, just anticipating doing. But now that could be like, I think that'll be my next big mental prerogative to hopefully achieve, because now it's getting hot. It's getting very hot, and my car has not had AC for years. And um, yeah, I drive home from work and I am just absolutely drenched in sweat, which is not a bad thing. That ends up becoming sort of my workout, I guess, in that way. Um, but for health reasons and just to be able to drive places, I need to get a new car. So I'm going to. It's interesting. Yeah, just everybody, like people's just interest in that ever since bringing it up, which I understand. But now I feel bad about, because I gotta commit to doing it. Gotta get a car. I'm gonna try to finish this up. I'm not gonna go more than an hour and a half today. I need to make sure that I keep this like at a reasonable like live stream length, which I think is like the sweet spot for me would be around an hour. So give or take like 15 minutes. I think that's like a reasonable amount of time to presume people would want to stick around, and then people would want to watch this on the replay. Yeah, because again, it's gonna take a minute for me to get these other videos out. So I just wanted to make sure that I had something on the channel. I did how live streams show up on the channel now. They don't really like show up on the main page. They go under like a special like live stream page, for replays. So they're a little bit harder to find. But I wanted to make sure that that's some sort of content out there, just something you could again watch while you or doing dishes or have dinner or something, because that's how I enjoy YouTube. It's just having something on in the background or just something to casually enjoy while you're also doing something else. Because I hope that people don't take me seriously enough to where they're just, you know, sitting at their desk in front of their computer and just like watching me walk around a theme park or play with hungry hippos or something. See, every time I start talking, I lose my place. Oh crud, there's a back to this. Okay. Now, how does... Okay. Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. I'm doing it. Here we go. Whoa. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Okay. No, we're good. Were you worried? I was trying to figure out what to do with my son's old Pokemon cards now that he's an adult and he's too old for his old stuff. I've inherited them, but figured that I'd pass them along. So you're trying to figure out what to do with old Pokemon cards? That's, it's I don't know either. I have all this like bulk in the closet there, and again, that's what I've been trying to do, is just trying to give it away, because it's to sell stuff is either a hassle or it's just too hard. I think at some stores you could probably turn it in for like store credit, but that's just like a lot of it's effort, and then it's just, for me, it's just easier to know that it's going to be going to something that uh, is better, which for me is just like paying it forward and like giving it to somebody else who might think it's fun. Even if they're not the best cards in the world, just taking the time to put them into these like little mystery packs, and just like knowing that a kid might just like have fun opening it up, even if they don't get anything good, or however they even distribute it at Give Kids the World. I have no idea. Do they just like leave the box like on the check-in counter or something and just say grab however many you want, or do they drop them off in mailboxes? I have no idea how they do that, even with just general like toys and clothes and stuff just that are donated. I don't know what that process is like, but it's fun to know that at least there's that option, because otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do with this, and I wouldn't want to go through that. If I'm going to go through that time and effort, it makes more sense to do it towards something that's more fun than, me earning back, $20 on all of this bulk that I have. It's like it's not even worth the time to put in for that. Okay. I think I'm getting close, at least this part here. Maybe? Yes. I have a lot of hot takes today. I'm hot take Roy. I'm post trip hot take Roy, where I'm teasing stuff and I'm being indirect with my thoughts on political things. Look at that. When I first saw your Patreon announcement, I thought you were going to turn it into some money wanting influencer. I was so glad when I found out it was a prank. Yeah. What is like interesting is that it's like putting effort into something. Like, it is nice to get that like that reimbursement back in that sense, whether it is just like people just watching and commenting, or if there is that slight like monetary reimbursement of just like, oh, that's cool, I and like the little ad revenue that I got, I made back what I spent on my Epcot food, or something like that. Like, that's exciting. It's kind of cool, you know um but at the same time, I'm not going to like pursue to the end of the earth, that this video has to make this much, and then I have to change this thumbnail and make it this title that's really clickbaity and just pathetic, and make this video out to be more than it is, and trick you into watching the entire video, and then harass you to leave a comment and like it and subscribe to my Patreon and membership and all this other stuff. And it's just like, what am I doing at that point? You know? Um, if I did start a Patreon, because I do have a Patreon, I did secure like at least the name for it a while ago, just to make an account, but I have not logged into it in years. I don't think. I don't even, as far as I know, I have a Patreon just because I wanted to have it in that case of like, if I ever want to do something that's like interesting that could be worthy of having a Patreon, at least I have a Patreon for it. Um, but it would need to be, like I think the most like reasonable avenue is like a special um like live stream or something for like Patreon members or something like that. Um, the last tier, like the Photoshop tier, I'm not against that because I do enjoy doing Photoshop, and if somebody did want me to like Photoshop myself with them and then print it out and then like mail it to them, as like a tangible picture of us like being in a theme park and just being like, I do think that would be kind of fun. Like I'm not gonna, you know, eh, I'm not gonna specifically charge money for that service or anything like that. But if that was like a tier of like what a Patreon could be, if it's a reasonable thing, right, in Patreon, and then it's like this fun extra thing that I could do just as like a thank you for just wanting to support me in that financial way that I felt was being compensated by like an actual effort on my part, other than just like, thanks for supporting the videos and watching me eat food, and ride rides. Like if it's actually something that I'm doing for you, then that makes sense. But I don't know yet. We'll see. I got to do this like channel relaunch before I get to that point. Okay. Think I'm getting close here. I said that before. So this should go here. Ooh. This is exciting, right? Bye, Jabber. Jabber is boarding. I have been on many planes recently, and I'm presuming that you're getting on a plane. I'm good on planes for at least a minute. If that gives somewhat of a tease. Okay, I think I'm down to like the final few pieces here. I have a little bit longer left until my hour and a half cutoff time here. Thank you to everybody who's just still in the live stream, just kind of casual hanging out, whatever you're doing right now. I hope you're being productive, or I hope you're just relaxing and having a great time, just doing whatever you're doing, because that is the whole point of this. So because I have all these other videos that I need to catch up on, it's going to take a minute for me to get back into the parks, just because I like to post stuff chronologically. But I think that is okay because I don't need to be in the parks for any reason at the moment. And you know what's cool? Oh no. There's like a little Lego arm stuck in here. How do I get you out? I got it out. Yeah. So it's cool to not have to go to the parks all the time because it makes going to the parks even more special and even more fun the longer that you wait to go back. Because that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to force it. Unless you do force it and it actually works out because you get to do something you haven't done in a long time, or try something new, or eat something you never knew was there before. So it can be double-edged in that way. Where it's like, even if you do force it, right, it still works out. That's the magic of theme parks. I'm so glad that I did not build all 4 of these. That would have taken a long time, even though I'm pretty sure they're all probably the same. Hmm. Okay, this goes here. Correct. Perhaps. My school emailed all the parents about some kid losing Pokemon cards. Honestly, it was quite stupid how they're making such a big deal about it. So my brother Travis, back in the early 2000s, when Pokemon was really really getting big, you know, like I remember them they banned cards and stuff in schools, and we got into Yu-Gi-Oh, pretty big, and my brother Travis got his Yu-Gi-Oh cards stolen at school, and my parents like contacted the school about it, and um because like his cards that he had were at the time very expensive. So these cards, his deck that he had, his Yu-Gi-Oh deck, was probably hundreds of dollars, so it actually became like a really big deal. And uh some kid like just stole his cards, and they ended up like contacting like the mother or something, and the mother like went into this kid's like room, and sure enough, there Travis's cards were, his Yu-Gi-Oh deck that he'd been building for like years at that point. And yeah, it was a big scandal. It's also really sad because that was at the pinnacle of like Yu-Gi-Oh for us, just collecting and playing the game. And I remember being devastated because his whole deck was stolen, and Travis was so defeated. He was just like, I'm done. I'm not going to start over again. Like, I was fun while it lasted, I guess, but I can't build that up again. That it's this was like middle school. I forget what grade it would have been in, like 7th or 8th grade or something. Um, yeah, probably it was middle school, right? I know I was in middle school. Travis and I are a couple years apart, but he got the cards back, and it worked out. Um, but yeah, especially just like, I mean, less now, but Pokemon cards, especially like in the post pandemic 2020 2021 primarily era, where it was just very hard to get these cards, and the prices of everything was just like through the roof. And if you have this card graded at a PSA 10, it was just like a gold bar, pretty much. Fuck, all these pieces are so small. I'm excited for the Shrek and Kung Fu Panda sequels. Yes, for Shrek. Kung Fu, not really. I mean, I saw the Kung Fu movies, the first couple at least. Um, but they were not memorable enough for me personally. But I'm not against watching them again. I am so close to being done. I think I just have like a couple more pieces, and then I can build my actual my Power Ranger here, and then I'll be signing off for the day. Let me see. Okay, this is on the other side. Goes like this. Somebody asked when we're going to see Happily Ever After in the park again. We really want to. Obviously, and it's just like that sort of scheduling. Pretty much at any point now, it should be okay. Just like leading from out of spring break, it's going to be a little bit more manageable and reasonable to actually go in and see it inside the park. We didn't need to see it like immediately, because we saw the cast member preview when it came back originally post COVID, and that was almost more of like a big deal because there had been fireworks for a year and a half at that point. So just to see fireworks again and just to see it be happily ever after was like, it meant a lot. It was really cool. Yeah, but having it be like the same show, if they came out with like a brand new show and it was just like the most incredible show ever, and we were like, that would be like a different reason to like make sure we got out as soon as possible. But knowing that it's just happily ever after, again, with just projections on Main Street, it diminishes the need to be, you know, to see it immediately. Like it'll make it more nice to just take our time actually getting to see it rather than forcing ourselves to see it as soon as possible. So there's my my little bike. There's my racer bike there. And I'm gonna do with this what I did with my Megazord, because it does come with all these stickers, and I'll just be putting those on afterwards because you don't need to see me silently put on stickers. Brennan and I should make a video where we ride every water ride in Orlando in one day. We could totally do that. See, it stinks because it's like doing like a challenge now. Like I always have these like challenge concepts in my head. But there's always some sort of a demerit of like waiting to do something or like wanting to do something and then I can't because of this reason. Like I was waiting to do like riding every roller coaster in Orlando in one day, waiting for Tron to open up. But like in that overlap of time, then the Woody Woodpecker coaster at Universal went down because they're redoing the land there. So it's just like, is it still a challenge? If I say that I want to do, because Splash Mountain is closed, right? So if I try to ride every single water ride in one day, then I wouldn't be able to technically do it because I wouldn't be able to ride Splash Mountain. Same with like if I wanted to ride every single roller coaster in one day, I couldn't do it technically because the Nut House coaster would be down. Ouch. Ow. This isn't Lego brand. I call it Lego because it's just, yeah, there's no Lego branding on that. So it's, whatever they call it, a construction set, a snap set. But I've noticed if it's not Lego, the dependability of just this being like a good quality. That not that it's not a good quality, but it requires extra effort to snap some pieces in. Some back over here like don't even stay on or fit for some reason. So I'm gonna get some glue to figure that out. This is not to demerit Marco at all for his very, very generous item in the mail, which I don't ever want to seem like I'm not thankful for something that people send in the mail, because that's not cool. That's just rude and sad. Because I will always appreciate what anybody takes the time and effort and finances to send to me. Oh my God. Someone's watching me while they do their algebra homework. Hooray. I enjoyed algebra. My brother Travis somehow convinced me in high school to double up in geometry and algebra 2. And that was one of the hardest things I've ever done, because I thought I could handle both at the same time, but I couldn't because they were both very different. Okay. Oh no. My Lego guy doesn't have a face. Guess he doesn't really need one because he has his helmet. Okay. So there he is. I have one little white piece remaining. Does that go somewhere? Maybe? No, I think it goes on the tip of the bike right here. Well, what do you know about that? Next year I'm doing geometry. No way I can double and do both. I do not take my educational advice by any means, it just depends at the speed of which you are comfortable, for sure. But the idea with doubling up in math was, just because I was in the International Baccalaureate program. So, um, just the necessity to do complicated courses, was encouraged, I guess, because we had our advanced placement and then our IB courses on top of that. So it was a lot. I pretty much peaked in high school in terms of academic effort because it was very challenging. Like college was easy compared to high school for me, because I got to college and it was easy. I went to UF, and just the course load and just the expected academic involvement and um, tests and papers. Like high school was much more challenging, but that's because again, just like a lot of other people were taking, statistics and stuff in high school, but I did, geometry and algebra, and then, AB, BC calculus. There was even further math. I couldn't even do BC calculus because that's when it became more about, the alphabet versus, numbers. Um, so yeah. All right. I've hit about an hour and a half of the live stream, and I did it. I have my bike here, and then my little green uh, Tommy Green Ranger, Power Ranger here, who I preferred him as the Green Ranger, I think, over the White Ranger, preferably. I think the Green Ranger was just really, really cool with the shield that he had. Um, but so yeah, I assembled one of those. There he is. I put him on the bike, and yeah, and now I can do the others at my leisure. My black, red, and blue Ranger there. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this live stream here. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for just letting me just kind of catch up and just talk through just what I've been up to. Again, sort of trying to tease that a little bit. If you follow my brother or me on Instagram, you might be spoiled in what trip we ended up going on. Same with myself and Brennan, just the staycation that we ended up doing. It doesn't need to be an absolute secret. It's just to what we did. I just think it's sort of fun and just that reveal. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm back. I'm glad that I was able to try out this Moto M2 interface with the new microphone here. I think it sounds okay. Hopefully, I have the gain turned up enough. That's something else that's kind of nice is I can adjust like the gain on this interface just so it can hopefully sound relatively good, or I can at least like update that and address it during the live stream. But hopefully I can do this again soon, hopefully with Brennan, where I can use this other microphone here and we can have some more fun conversations about theme parks. And yeah, but I wanted to make this live stream just to sort of say hello and just let you know what's been going on the channel and hopefully what to anticipate and look forward to. And thank you for your patience and hopefully you've enjoyed some of the stuff that I again uploaded and scheduled to be uploaded while I was out of town. And now that I'm back, and now I can finish that process and hopefully just get started on some more fun videos. So thanks for being patient. I appreciate everybody for just popping in the live stream. If you're watching this on the replay, hello. I hope this was something fun for you to just watch and listen to. But if not, maybe I'll be better at it at some point. But thank you to everybody that sent mail. Thank you, Jabber. Thank you, Marco. Thank you for the letter and for the Lego. And yeah, so thank you for watching this and putting up with me just playing around with some new audio equipment. Hopefully it can improve from here. I'll work on the video quality next and maybe try to improve this a little bit more. But if it sounds good, then maybe it's good. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon. Thanks for popping into my morning live stream here. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.